everyone, welcome to this interesting video in JavaScript. The best way to master a language is by programming in it. If you enjoy watching such tech videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. So what's in store for you? We'll first create some simple beginner level projects like how to build a calculator app. Then we'll move on to more advanced apps like the weather app, the Tic Tac Toe Game, and finally, we'll conclude the session by creating a snake game application. Now, I'm sure you're excited to dive deep into it. So let's begin.
So we have decided to basically develop a very interesting project in JavaScript that is known as called calculator application. Like you have seen earlier some projects like in Tic Tac Toe, you talk about snake game, you talk about the quiz application. This time we're going to introduce you another very interesting project using this JavaScript, HTML and CSS, so-called calculator application. So let's get started. Let me try to delete first those files which we really do not need it now. We delete those all. Yeah. Now I'll be creating a new folder now and give the name called calculator app. And in this calculator app, once again we need some new files which is called index.html, and we also need one more that is called app.css, and another one that is called app.js. So these three files required. Now first of all, I would start with index.html file where we'll be creating a template of my code. Now let me go and create this template, and here I have got body with me. Let's start with the first tag here that is called h1, and this h1 we are giving the name called calculator app. So that will be my h1 heading. After that, we'll start working with the div tag. Now within this div, I have to create lot many classes. I may not have lot many CSS classes, but we can give some classes here. So we can say class equal to container. Okay. So within this div tag, we're going to create a table now because I want to organize it. So I'm starting with the table. Within this table, a tr tag, and within this tr tag I need a td. Now in this td I need few things: call, span equal to 3 as the value, and here I want to offer the text box input type equal to text. Okay, input equal to text, id equal to, give the name called result. That will be the final outcome while pressing all the different buttons, id equal to result and class equal to screen. Remember, I haven't created those CSS classes, but we're giving some names, but later on we can utilize it while creating those CSS classes. Table data is getting closed. Let's get started with another td. Now inside this td, we need another text box, input type equal to text, and here in this input equal to text, sorry, I would like to better say button because I'll be having buttons. Okay, input type equal to button, value equal to C, and on click equal to, I may not have any function right now, but yes, I can create a function, but let me give some dummy name here. I'm saying clear screen. Okay, so that will be the function we get called, and after that class equal to clear. Yeah, so this is my button tag. After this, the td tag is getting closed. After the td tag, the table row is also getting closed. After the table row, which is getting closed, we're going to start working with another table row. Okay, and in this table row, I'm going to create one more td. So let's go and create another td here, and inside this td, I'll be having another button to be get created. So I'll just say This is my another button now. Input equal to button, value equal to 1. On click equal to, I'll be calling another function called display. Okay, and inside this we're giving the value called 1. Okay, and class equal to number. Class equal to number. And here after that the TD tag is getting closed. Okay, now we have to start another TD tag here. Okay, like that we have to keep on creating the multiple buttons. So let me copy and paste another table data. Now here again value equal to 2, on click equal to display, give the value called 2, and class equal to what? Number. Like that I'll keep on creating multiple buttons, but first check how it actually looks like it. Now I can see the buttons like in C 1, 2, 3, but yes, I'm going to create few more buttons one after another. Okay, so I'll go here and create few more buttons. So this is where the table data is getting closed. Okay, I'll copy this and paste it again. So I have to create the button like in 3, 4, something like that. So after this 2, we're giving the value called 3. Yeah, I'll give the value called 3. So value equal to 2, value equal to 3, display 3. And then afterwards, just giving the value called forward slash. And here also we're going to give the value called forward slash. And here class equal to operator. Operator. After that, we have to give the value called 4 and then followed by 5, 6, 7. So here we give 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. After 6, we're giving call minus. Okay, once again it will be what? Type of operator. Operator. Okay, after this minus, we'll be talking about call 7. Then we have to have 8. Okay, 9. Okay, after that we're giving call plus and display plus class equal to operator. Operator. Okay, so here you can see the table data is getting closed, and here the table row is also getting closed. And after this table row, you can start working with another table row here. And after this table row, we can start working with again TD. Let me have this again. Inside this, I'll be giving the option called decimal, which is value equal to dot, and here we give the value called decimal. Decimal. Okay. Now display 0. So after giving this dot, it will basically take what? The value 0, which we haven't put now. We'll be talking about value called 0. So here the decimal value we have given it, TD is getting closed. Let me have the other one. 0, 0. So like that we have to give this now. After that, we'll be once again taking this, and this time rather than giving this 0, we'll be using this call as a button, and value equal to on click equal to solve. Okay, and in this solve will not be passing anything. It will be like a normal function, and class equal to equal. Okay, so table data is getting closed, so we will be using another table data now. So here it will be the button only. Okay, we will be using value equal to multiplication. Display stick, and here we will be using operator. Okay, so table data is getting closed, table row is getting closed, table is also getting closed here. Okay, so your div tag is also getting closed here. Okay, that's it. Okay, so that's the only thing which we wanted to make. Let me try to refresh and check. Awesome. So we have got all those necessary calculator behavior which we wanted to reveal. Okay, now our next statement will be, once we are giving this C, then we have to call 1, 2, 3 and then forward slash followed by 4, 5, 6 will come down. Okay, so let me check whether we have used 6 or not. Okay, so we haven't used 6. So let me check here. 4, 5, 6. So let me go back here. 4, 5, 6. Let me copy this and paste it later on. Before minus. Six equal to number. Okay, so we're almost set now. So we are having this look and feel. In this we are giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and after this we have a call minus and then plus related behavior. So we are all set now, and after that we'll be basically applying the CSS as well as the JavaScript look towards my code. Okay, thank you. Well everybody, we're all good to go now, but I just want to first check whether my this outlook is looking properly or not. See, what my expectation is, after 1, 2, 3 forward slash, I really want to bring 4, 5, 6 to the next, and then 7, 8, 9 and again forward slash, but I can think this is absolutely unorganized. So after this, when we say this forward slash which we have used after hyphen, okay, your TD is getting closed here. Okay, so here the TR I also want to close here. Okay, and after this TR I also want to start another TR here. Okay, so that I can put them into the another level now. So under this TR I can use this TD now. So after this minus, after 4, 5, 6 minus, once again I would like to start another table row here. Okay, so that it let's go to the next row. So here after TD we're closing this TR and starting another TR now. Okay, we're starting another TR. After that we talk about 7, 8, 9. Okay, plus, see here, talking about 7, 8, 9 plus, here the table row is getting closed and it is starting right now like this. See, that looks better now. Okay, but still few more things which I would like to make it even more organized, but that's not a problem. We will do it little later on. Okay, because you can see 8 is missing right now. So here 7, we copy this, equal to 8. Yeah, that looks better now. So now they are basically completely organized. So the moment I expect my application, so we have a call dot here, then 0, then equal to, and then we have a call multiplication. Okay, so looks better now. Now I just would like to perform the overall look and feel. So I need to go ahead and use what CSS, because without CSS I really can't utilize this in a proper way, so I have to start working with a CSS front now. In CSS front, how to start? First we will go back to my code, and here in my CSS we'll start working with font family. But before font family, I would like to start with the body part now. Body, background color, I'm using called teal. That looks nice. Okay, so I will be using this app.css in my HTML to see the look how it is being appeared right now. So in my index.html file, on the top under my head section, link, style sheet, okay, now see, it looks better now. Going forward, in my CSS, we want to use some H1 color too. So here, we would like to use the H1, text align, center, color, white, margin top, we would like to use 50 pixels. This is for H1. Let's check. Perfect. So it is now coming in between. Next statement will be called screen. So we say dot screen. So in this screen, we use the background color gray, and after that border solid, black, and with 2 pixels. After that color, white, font size, medium. Next width, we are using this 100%. Then we talk about cursor. We'll be saying what the default cursor is. Okay. Then padding, we would like to say 10 pixels. And then margin, say auto. Then margin bottom, that I'll be using 10 pixels. So it is the proper alignment. Okay. Look, that's how exactly we want. That's for a screen where the exact outcome will be visible to me. And rest of the details will be showing you one by one. Now we'll be talking about called input. Okay. Input type equal to button. For input type equal to button. Okay. Input type equal to button of type what? Hover. The moment I hover on my button, I say background color change to what? White, or else I can say white smoke. Okay. And when the button is active, what I want, let me copy input equal to button, and here I say active. In this color should be orange red. Like this. You can see now how it is basically looking like it. Okay, active, the color will be like this. Okay, now we'll be talking about called operators. Operators should behave different. So I'm saying dot operator. In this operator, we are saying background color orange. Okay, then padding I want 5 pixels. Okay, then I want color, that should be black. After this I'm using called border. Sorry, that border I'm using this called solid, and then black and 2 pixels. After this width I'm using 100%. Then height, we're using 40 pixels. Then cursor, it has to be pointed type. Okay, that's it. Let's check. Perfect. So they should turn back to what? To your orange color. And you can see the moment I take my cursor on it turns to white. Perfect. And now those who are type number, I also want to change them. So for number, I want to say the same option. Padding I want 5 pixels. Then I need height of type 40 pixels. Then I say color. It looks, I want to say called black. Then border. I want solid. Black and 2 pixels. Solid, black and 2 pixels. Then width, I would say 100%. And cursor, once again, point. That is for number. Let's check. Awesome. So they looks nice. Now we're left with few other type of options like a dot and equal to. Okay, that I'm talking about called decimal. For decimal, I need to have a different options with me. Okay, so let me try to copy this, paste it, and I say for decimal. So for decimal, background color will be light blue, padding 5 pixels, color black, border solid. Okay, black 2 pixels, width 100%, height 40 pixels, fine, and cursor pointer. Perfect. Okay, looks nice, but I have changed the color to light blue now. Now I talk about clear. Okay, now come back and say clear. Okay, in this color, background color is I'm changed to light salmon. Padding 5 pixels, color black, border same, width 100%, height 40 pixels, fine. So cursor, pointer, fine, margin, auto, and margin bottom 10 pixels. Let's check. Perfect. Now it looks beautiful. Okay. Now here, after giving these details, we're talking about called equal part, dot equal. So for dot equal also, I'm just copying the same. So give a call, background color, padding color, just change to light green. And after this, since it is an equal, so we say padding 5 pixels is okay, color black, fine, border, fine, width 100%, height 40 pixels, color and cursor pointers, just I don't need to. This is for dot equal, and I want for container. In this container, width I want 40%. Width 40%. Background color white. Okay. Now here padding is 15 pixels. So display block. So first of all we have call width. We say display block, which we're taking margin. Okay, in margin we're saying 100 pixels. Auto. Okay, now align cells equal to center. Okay, border radius which is saying 10 pixels. Okay, now we're saying box shadow 5 pixels. Black. And padding so these are the details I have it now. Okay, we have it. Background color we are taking it now. Align cell, display block, border radius, padding, and now padding 15 pixels we have given already. I don't need to give it again. Margin, okay, fine. Box shadow, let's try. Awesome. So it's looking beautiful now. Okay, so this is where exactly my application works like that. And table, when we talk about, here we're saying width 100%. Okay, that's it. Super. So it's now giving me the proper look of how my application should behave like. Just see about the container what we have done. With 40% we're taking background color. Let's bring it below. Then align self, display block, okay, margin, okay, and border radius, and fine. So I think we're all good now. So that's it. So we'll try and implement the JavaScript part. Well, everyone, so our CSS file is ready, our HTML is ready. It's time to just go ahead and talk about my final portion, that is called JS part, where I want to basically perform some calculators. Now here I just say function display which takes var as a parameter and say document dot get element by id. Here I'm saying result, okay, dot value, okay, plus equal to var. Whatever we are adding it, just it basically try to apply calculation on the top of that. Okay, that is the function. After that, we have another function available here called function solve. Here in the solve, we just use the value called let x equal to document dot get element by id result, okay, dot value, dot value, okay, and say let y equal to perform the calculations. For that, we'll be using one function called eval and type x as an parameter. Now the next statement will be again document dot get element by id result dot Later on, I'll like to use another function here. Function clear screen, and here we say document dot get it in by ID. Here we say result dot value equal to, like that. So clear screen, solve, and display. 3 functions are associated with me, and these 3 functions are the part of this JavaScript file which I'll be calling it at the end before the body tag gets closed. So here script equal to app.js. That's it. Okay, let's try to execute now. Here 2, you can see the values. I will say plus 6 equal to 8. Absolutely. And I say C is clear the screen. 6 divided by 2 equal to 3. Awesome. So friends, your calculator application is ready. Congratulations to all. So it is a very simplest form which we have developed. This is your HTML, which is a template for you. This is the CSS, which is your complete the area of like how the look and feel will look like in of this template beautification. And here last we have got JS, which is smaller logic but really meaningful. Okay.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the another very exciting project for our development in JavaScript that is known as called Weather Pro. It is in a continuation to the series of the previous project what we have developed in JavaScript, and this is once again a very competitive project I'm going to present to you, which is called Weather Pro, where I would like to offer you the real-time weather application into your browser taken from the real-time weather applications. Okay, so let's get started with the new development of our application, which is called a Weather Pro. Now once again, compared to the previous project what we have seen, these projects were working more a kind of static in nature, where like you talk about snake game, you talk about Tic Tac Toe, or other type of games like an online quiz, where the data was very much static in nature, but we were presenting the data in the form of more dynamic in nature. This time, this project we are presenting you while connecting with a real-time weather application, where I'll be making a one REST API call, or else you can say asynchronous call. And since JavaScript is working as about a pure asynchronous nature, you will be enjoying the way how the JavaScript can communicate with your backend, load the data, and represent the records in a very, very beautiful manner. So once again, we would need this VS Code editor only just to develop our code. And once again, for developing a presentation part, we'll be using HTML. For formatting part, we'll be using CSS, and to make some dynamic update, we'll be using JavaScript. Now here, I'm going to create a new file name called index.html. Parallelly, I just want one more that is known as called app.css, and another file we need it, and that is called your JS file. So we are saying app.js file. So total number of 3 files are available to us. Now I'll start working with an HTML now, and here we'll start with this HTML templates. Now here, first of all, I would like to load my CSS file, which I do not have right now, but certainly I can use it. Okay, so I can just say link rel equal to style sheet and href equal to app.css. Well, that is my CSS location. Now I just want to create this link rel I would better use inside my head tag. That will be the more convenient place. Now in my body, I want to have some of the div tags, and there I can decide where the weather to be displayed. So I can just start with my div tag now. With my div tag, I say class equal to, I can just create a class which later on I can offer different size of or different type of style. So we can say container. So we're saying div class equal to container. Now within a div tag, we'll like to use another div tag, which is a nested one. So this div will have another class called class equal to app hyphen title. App hyphen title. In the same div tag, we can use this typical paragraph tag, and here we say weather info. Weather info. Now, after this paragraph tag, we want to have a text box because I would expect a client to enter the detail on which city or for which city he or she would like to get the details. So we can say input some properties like ID equal to search, second type equal to text, next placeholder equal to enter the city, next autocomplete. I'm saying autocomplete off. The reason because I do not want the previous value user can see. In this case, we can say autocomplete off. I do not want any autocomplete in this. Okay. Now, here it is getting close now. After that, we also want the locations. For that, I may use some of the PNG files and all. But right now, I just want to display the details of the user, like which city he belongs to, and accordingly I can display the records right in your application. So for that I really need some of the div tags once again, where I can display the details of this particular city. So I'm just having this only text box. Let me go back and check how it looks. So I have a call enter the city. So here I'll be picking up the city, and somewhere down the line I have to display the records. So after this div, we can also have some of the locations to be displayed. So we can just use the notifications and also the location where you want the details to be displayed. Okay, so we can use div class equal to temperature value, temperature hyphen value. Okay, so div class equal to temperature hyphen value. Inside this I'll be using paragraph tag, and here in my paragraph I'll say hyphen and this degree centigrade or whatever you want to display it here, and we'll use a span tag within this and show in degree centigrade. That's it. And if you want to define the temperature description, after this div tag we can use another div tag, and inside my div tag I can define the temperature description. Okay, so we can say div class equal to temperature hyphen description, temperature hyphen description, and within this I'll be using what, a paragraph tag. Here I'll be displaying all the description. So right now that is the only thing which I want. Let me check. Okay, so it's here right now. So now let me try to collect the value from the client and perform some JavaScript tag within this. Okay, now it's time for us to go back and try to bring some of the CSS features into my code now. Now, few things I would like to say is I have basically downloaded some fonts which I would like to use it in my application, and I also have some of the icons which I would like to use during my application presentation. So there are some PNG files are there which I've downloaded from the internet just to bring more beautiful experience towards my application development. Well, this is another background image which is called bg.jpg, which I would like to make it as a background of my existing application. So I'll start with my CSS and see how this CSS can really bring some new features to my code. Well, First thing, I need to have a called font face. So to make this font face, we are using this statement name called here @font face, and I like to use font family. Font family, I'm using Montserrat. Okay, it is already there with me, Montserrat, and the URL what is looking forward for. So we are saying src URL, and I'm saying under the font, so we have a file called ttf. Okay, that is called bold.ttf. That is the file which is there with me. Next thing, so for every location I want to use the font family, font hyphen family, I want to use same Montserrat. And the next thing is like in my body. So in my body, few details like background image, I need URL, and in this URL we can say bg.jpg in my background. Next thing is background color, that I need it still blue. Then I need height, I'll say 500 pixels. Next, your background position, this I need it is center. Next is your background repeat, I say no repeat. Next is your background size, this I'm saying cover. This is my body part. Okay, let's check. Okay, looks awesome now. You see this now. This is how my weather info is looking like it. We can see like the background looks awesome now. Now, next thing, we require a container. So we are saying dot container. Container we say width 50%. Next, background color, we're just using white. Next, we need it is your align self, that will be center. Display will be block. Margin, so in margin we can say 100 pixels. After that, border radius, we are saying 10 pixels. And then padding bottom, this padding bottom will be 50 pixels. Then box shadow, this box shadow we are giving 5 pixels, 10 pixels, 20 pixels, and black. This will be with my container. So index.html file we have a called container. Now, okay, looks awesome now. So this is where exactly the details will be. Okay, now after this CSS container we have used, we can talk about called title. You can say app hyphen title. Inside this we will say width will be 100%. Then height will be 150 pixels. Then border radius 10 pixels. Then we need display we need flex, and then we need align items. This align items we are just saying center. Next we need justify content. That will be the justify content will be just center. Then flex direction would be column. So this option we are using for our tool name called what? app-title. Okay, so here in my index.html file we have a called div class equal to what? app-title equal to weather info. Let's check. Okay, so this is the another we have used that is called app title. Now we need to use it for paragraph. Inside my app title, what should be alignment for my paragraph? So here this app title is space p, but it should be the class, so we are saying dot, and there also we have to use what? Dot, because both have to be the class type. Okay, so here you can see now there is a difference. I forgot to add dot, and now you can see it looks better comparatively. Paragraph. So once again in my paragraph I'll be having text align, center, padding I want 15 pixels. Then I need margin would be 0 and auto, followed by font size. Font size, this I'm saying is called 1.2. Here this is position. Then color, we are giving hash value called 333. Okay, now here, okay, so some changes in a paragraph. Well, going forward for the search, because if you remember we have an index.html file, we have a call id equal to what? Search. So here in my app.css I have to use hash search. Okay, so this search conditions I want to use it. Now inside my search I need few things. One is called display, I need block, after that I need margin left, auto, margin right, auto, width I'm looking forward for 5 pixels, height that I'm looking forward for 20 pixels, then border radius I'm looking forward for 5 pixels, then outline that is called none, when we say border, okay, in this border what we can say 3 pixels, space solid, okay, and once again sea blue. That's what. Let's check. So this is actually the text box. So once again, search you use display block, margin left auto, margin right auto, width 5 pixels, width, padding, sorry, one thing I said, padding should be 5 pixels, width should be 40%. That's why it is smaller. Width it will be 40%. Let's check. Yeah, that's look better now. Okay, so my text box is now ready. I'll be having some of the details for the notifications also. So what I need for the notifications, let me go back and create a class for notification. So dot notification. Okay, now in the notifications I would like to give some value called background color, And in this background color we are just giving white, and after that we are saying display, and we are saying none. This is for notification, and followed by the notification. We're talking about the same notification. Okay, and followed by its paragraph. We are giving the color. First of all, we are saying color. Color is basically red. Okay, or else if you want to give maroon, it will be maroon. And after this, the next property we are taking is called font size. Font size we are taking is called 1.2 em, followed by margin. Margin we are taking is 0. After that, text align, center, padding 10 pixels, 0. So this is for notification P. And then the weather container. Okay, in my weather container I will say width 100%. Sorry, yeah, width 100%, height we're giving 260 pixels, or if to you 250 pixels if you want. Background color, this background color we are giving is called once again white, and followed by margin top 20 pixels. 20 pixels. This is for weather container. Now for the weather icon, weather hyphen icon, I'm saying width is 100% and height 128 pixels, just to give in a better look. Now the next thing, we are using dot weather hyphen icon space img. Here we are getting display none, and sorry, display not none, I will say rather block, display block, and margin giving 0 space auto. This for icon. And location icon, if I want to give, then location hyphen icon. This location icon I can say same width height. So width I'm giving is 100%, then height I'm giving 40 pixels, and then we give this option called padding, then 10 pixels. So it's for location icon. Now followed by location icon, we are also giving call location icon img. Okay, dot location hyphen icon space img. Here we're giving the value called display block. Display block width we're giving is called 32 pixels, and then we're looking forward for margin. Margin would be 10 pixels and auto. Then cursor, so cursor will be pointer for sure, and then we require padding. Padding we're looking forward for 5 pixels, followed by border. Border we are looking forward for steel blue solid, and 2 pixels. Then border radius, we're looking forward for 10 pixels, and followed by your color, steel blue. So these are the look and feel we have to basically offer it for my current application, which I yet to discuss in my next development. Then I'll be having some small properties here. Okay, and those properties are nothing but to give you the details of like temperature values. So we say dot temperature hyphen value. Okay, this temperature hyphen value we can give it is 100%, and height we give is called 60 pixels. Okay, this is for temperature value. Let me copy this again, and I'm giving this temperature value space paragraph. Here I'm gonna give padding 0, margin 0, then color, which color we're looking forward for, so we can just say dark gray. Okay, or any color which you're looking forward for, it's up to you now, but if you want you can change the color also to the another one. We're giving this called hash 293, okay, 251. Okay, that is a more perfect color for this development. Now font size 4 EM, then followed by text align, and once again center. So this is for temperature value P. We haven't used much, but you can see now it looks somewhere in much more better way. Okay, that is called temperature value P. Then you can use a temperature value span here, dot temperature value span space span, and here we remove the additional dot. Now within this span, say color, once again same, and font size this is for span, and in the same temperature description paragraph you can use it dot temperature hyphen description space P. So this will be having the padding of 8 pixels, then margin 0, followed by color, same color, the one which we have used it earlier, after this color just a text align, center, font size 1.2 EM. This is for temperature description. Okay, last which is available for your location. So let me give the location now, dot location space P. Here we can say margin 0, then padding 0, then color, same color I would like to use. After this color, text align and font size. I'll copy, text align center, and here we'll be giving some different value called 0.8. Okay, and last which is left with called div. In that relative, here position I'll be using absolute top. From top I'm using 600 pixels. Okay, and right I'm using 120 pixels. That's it. Okay, so all set. So you can see now here we have to basically offer the details how my pictures will be taken it up. So this is what my CSS. Now we'll be applying some of the CSS into my HTML to see how it really looks like it.
If getting your learning started is half the battle, what if you could do that for free? Visit SkillUp by Simplilearn. Click on the link in the description to know more.
Okay, so we have seen some of the CSS classes we have introduced. In my HTML, we have used this autocomplete equal to off, then we have used div class equal to temperature value. Okay, if you just check carefully, we have used this temperature, and then we have used temperature hyphen value. But before that, we would like to use some other properties too. Okay, after this autocomplete equal to off, we want to use another div class. Okay, before my previous div tag is closed here. So here, after this, we would like to use another div tag, div. Here in my div, I'll say class equal to location hyphen icon. Location hyphen icon. Okay, and here I'll be using img src equal to what? Under icons, I'm using the file name called location.png, and alt equal to, we leave it as it is a blank. Okay, now here the div tag is getting closed. Okay, now there's another div tag is getting closed here. So two div tags are closed. After that, we'll be using another div class for notification. Here div class equal to notification, div class equal to notification, and this div tag is getting closed right here. Okay, now another div for the weather condition, another div tag, and here we say class equal to weather hyphen condition. Weather hyphen what? A condition, or I can say weather hyphen container, whichever. So I can say weather hyphen container. Under this weather container, I like to use another div for weather icon, div for class equal to weather hyphen icon, weather hyphen icon, and within this I want to use another img src equal to, once again, icons / unknown .png. Okay, div tag is getting closed. So after this div tag is closed, I'm going to use temperature value. So the temperature value is anyways used here. If you see, it is in call temperature value. After the first div tag is closed, you see like temperature value we have used. After that, the paragraph tag and the temperature hyphen description p. After the p, there's a div tag is getting closed. Okay, and after this we are using div class equal to location. So we want to use div class equal to location, and within this location we want to use one more paragraph tag with this hyphen. After this paragraph it's closed, this div tag, and another div tag. 3 div tags are closed. That's it. and at the last, before my body tag is closed, I would like to use script src equal to app.js. That's it. Let's check. Great, my application looks pretty beautiful now. So this I want to be displayed only when I don't find the weather and the location and all. So look and feel is absolutely good. And now I'll start working on my JavaScript front. Okay, so let's go ahead and start writing our JavaScript code. So in just JavaScript code, first of all, I need few things. First thing what I need is call individual elements or individual properties of my application. I need const icon element equal to document dot query selector, and I'll be using the name call dot weather hyphen icon. Okay, now copy this. Now we will call icon element, we can say location icon. Call location icon. Here we are saying dot location hyphen icon. Now next I need it is called temp element. Here we are using the property call dot temperature hyphen value space p. Next we are looking forward for desc element, which is called description. Here we are giving temperature hyphen description hyphen temperature hyphen description space what p. Then location element okay, we need a location element and we use dot location space p. Next we need notification element and here we're going to give the call notification. So 4 properties we have taken. So we are selecting all the elements. Next statement what we're going to talk about. See, this statement is all about selecting the elements. The next step we are talking about call get the input field. So we are saying var input equal to document dot get element by id. Here we give the name call search, which is the name or id of my text box. Let city equal to blank. Next we're going to give call let latitude equal to 0.0. We are initializing this value, and let longitude equal to again 0.0. So we are getting the coordinates right now. So this is how to get the input fields. Next we want to apply the events here. We are saying input the variable dot add event listener. The variable what we're talking about, which event listener we're talking about, key up, and what event you want to apply. So we are saying function with a parameter name called what, event, and now we would like to attach the logic. Now we are saying if what is the condition, event dot key code equal to 30. Okay, then that means number 13 is basically the enter. see, the key code means what? 13. 13 represent the enter keyword. So event.key code equal to what? 13. So we are saying event.prevent default. Why we are using this? Because I do not want my page to be get refreshed. Just to avoid this, we are using this. And after that we are saying city equal to input dot value. Now you'll be using this another function because I do not have function created. Otherwise I have to call the function name called get search weather and we'll be passing this as a parameter. So we're using get search weather. I do not have this function. I yet to create this and pass it here as a what? City. And we say console.log city, whatever we are basically printing it. Okay, so that is the first thing. Later on we need to get the data. So to get the data we are just using this variable name called const weather equal to const weather equal to curly braces. After that we are saying weather dot temperature equal to this, and which temperature conditions you want. I'm saying unit of type what? Celsius. I want it in Celsius. Put it in double quotes. Okay, so next statement will be getting the details in Kelvin. I'm saying const Kelvin equal to value of the Kelvin is what? 273. And after that const C. Ultimately what we need is we need to interact with our backend API from where I will get or receive the updated weather applications. Okay, now to get this I'll be using one very popular API here that is known as called openweathermap.org. This is one of the very popular app which people use it, and it's used and trusted by many companies. Clear? So here what you can do, this openweathermap.org. So you need to basically first of all get yourself registered, because if any third-party application is interacting, it requires that particular unique API key. Since as a visitor you really can't get it unless you register yourself, so I have my API key with me. So I'll go here, it'll ask me for the registration. So I already signed up, so if you're not, you need to sign it. There's an API key for me which I need to copy, and this API key I'll be using it in my project. So I just use this property called const key equal to paste my key here. Okay, after this pasting the key, but make sure that you're rather using my key, you use your key, otherwise this application sometimes won't work. So I'm basically trying to use this tool name called geolocation. I'm saying if geolocation, okay, in navigator is, there's a browser object model element. So here we are using navigator, okay, navigator dot geolocation dot get current position, in which I'll be passing the first parameter name called what? Set position, and second parameter will be show error, in case if any error is received. Okay, else. In this else condition, what would happen? I'm using this statement name called notification element, you see this notification element dot style dot notification element dot get elements by class name, but I don't need this, rather I will use what, the style dot display equal to block. Then I'll be using the same notification element dot inner HTML equal to, you're gonna use a paragraph saying what, browser doesn't support, so you have to enable the current location of use. Okay, that's where exactly. So after that we have to basically set what, the user position. Okay, if the user is having that support available, so after this location we'll be just using another function here, function set position. I'll be taking position as a parameter and take latitude equal to position dot chords for coordinates dot latitude. Okay, like that. Longitude equal to what, position dot chords dot longitude. After this we'll be using this function called what, get weather. So this get weather will be the function in which we'll be passing it. So this function will be soon seen. I'll be having it defined below, but as of now we are just saying get weather, and in which this we are passing latitude and longitude. That's it. So we have this function name called what, set position, in which we'll be passing all the values. Okay, at the same time I'll be using one more function here, that is called function, not function, in fact I would like to use location icon, the one which you defined at the top, dot add event listener. Which event listener? I'm saying on click. Second function which take event as an parameter, and inside this I'm saying console, just to confirm whether the records are being taken, console.log hey just, and we say get weather. Okay, once again we'll be passing what, latitude and longitude. Same, I just copy this and pasted it here. Okay everyone, so we have written till here. When I try to run my browser, so I should see there is a message name called show error is not defined, but obvious because this message what we're writing it here is called show error. Okay, this as a function, as a parameter, it is not defined. Let me define this function called show error. So we are saying function show error, which take error as an, just take error as a parameter. Now in this we are using notification dot style dot display equal to what, block. After that, once again notification element dot inner HTML equal to what, we're just using this as a paragraph, and here error dot message. Okay, and after that paragraph. So this is how we are basically writing it down. And now see, it is immediately asking you to know your location. Okay, if I say allow, that's okay. Okay, so nothing. You can see now it is saying get weather is not defined, because right now the moment I click on this, so it is saying like get weather is not defined, but obvious because I told you this get weather function I need to develop. So I get to develop this function called get weather, but before that I'm using another function called function get search weather. Get search weather, in which I'll be passing what? City name. Now what exactly my API will be, in case if I want to make a call, I will be using let API equal to, now the URL will be what? http://API dot open weathermap.org. Now open weathermap.org slash data slash 2.5, that is a version, slash weather, okay, question mark. I have to take the city dynamically, so I'm saying weather question mark q equal to, here we're using what? City, and we're using ampersand app id equal to the one app id we have used it already. Okay, what is that? That key. So that is a key which we've already written. That app id we are passing it right over here. Okay, q equal to city and app id equal to this. Now after that, to make the RESTful API call, I'll be using one independent or by default API which is available to us, that is known as called what? Fetch. Okay, so if you just check this fetch, it is basically a take request info and give you the what? A promise response. So return type will be the promise type. In this fetch I'll be passing what? The API, and we'll be using dot then means if the request is successful, we are saying function response. Then function is in parameter response, we are saying let data equal to response dot, I'm expecting the response of type of what? JSON. We're saying JSON now, and return what? Data. So it will be returning data back to me. Now if it is successful, then what? Then I'm saying dot, then once again it is chaining, again function, again data and parameter. Now in this case we'll be getting a lot of things. I'm saying weather, okay, dot temperature, it's a predefined, dot value equal to, I'm using what? Math dot floor. Inside this we are passing what? Data dot main dot temp. It is a predefined property, we are receiving it now, hyphen Kelvin. Whatever the Kelvin value is, basically we're taking is called 273 on the top, minus Kelvin, followed by another property, what? Weather dot description, weather dot description equal to, we're using data dot weather 0th position because it contains a lot of data, but I will be taking what? Description out of that. Then weather dot icon id, weather dot icon id equal to data dot weather dot icon, then dot icon, then once again weather dot city, okay, equal to data dot name. After this, weather dot country dot equal to data dot sys dot. So these are the properties. I have it right now with me. Okay, and once I received all the property, I'll be using dot, then I'll be using one function, and I will say what display. There is no function written called display weather, but I'm gonna say there's a one function name called display weather. This function I yet to write, but this function I'm just putting it here. Okay, now this is closed. After that, since I need to get a weather from the API provider, so I have to also pass what the latitude and longitude, which I'm receiving it from the client, because here I just want to have two things, the properties as well as weather, both, and both I'll be using it one by one. Okay, so here we have kept this get search weather, and now I'll be calling one more function after this logic, and I'm giving the name called function get weather. Okay, it takes two parameters. One is called what? Latitude, and second is called longitude. So we have two things called latitude and longitude, and here I'm using this property called what? Let API equal to. Once again, if you remember, I have used this statement. I'll just copy the same and pass it here. But challenge would be this time I will not be passing city name, because there are two options are available. Either you type the city name, or else you click on the icon and let your application identify the location which you belong to. So after this weather question mark, here I will not be using Q, I'll be using what? LAT equal to latitude. Okay, and we're using and LON equal to we're using longitude. Okay, and app ID equal to what? Key. So this is the variable which we have it now. Okay, now similar thing which we have used it on the top, okay, called fetch API. So I just copy this same fetch API again, because I really don't want to waste time on keep on typing the code. When we know it very well, it can be similarly done. I just copy and paste it here. So the same fetch API dot then response data equal to response dot JSON return data, then weather dot temperature mat dot floor sys country dot display weather. So we have used the same thing here, and after that we have to use the last function here that is called display weather. Display weather, and here in my display weather I can use what? Icon element dot inner HTML equal to, I'll be using img src equal to icons slash dollar, and we'll be passing what? Weather. Okay, dot icon ID. Okay, dot png. Okay, so that we are basically putting it here, dot png, and after that we're just closing that. Okay, and this icon we also need to close here. So rather than closing this, I'll be closing that, and this I'll be closing it here. Now we'll be using temp element dot inner HTML equal to what? We'll be using this dollar weather dot temperature dot value. Okay, and after this value we can just use this asterisk sign, the one which I told you. Okay, and use span, okay. Next we are using call talk element, so we have DAC element. So we have a call DAC element dot inner HTML equal to weather dot description, and last but not least location element dot inner HTML equal to what? I'll be using once again this, and here weather dot city comma dollar weather dot. That's it. These two properties we have to use it, and we are all done. Let's check with my code if I get any error. Now allow. So awesome, you can see now 27 broken clouds, globe undefined, that's perfectly fine. Intercity, you can see, awesome, beautifully it is showing you the conditions. It's saying smoke 28 degrees centigrade and all. Let me put another city here. I'm gonna say called Pune. Awesome, your application is working perfectly fine. And let's see one more. I would say awesome.
If getting your learning started is half the battle, what if you could do that for free? Visit SkillUp by Simplilearn. Click on the link in the description to know more.
And now we are planning to develop one very special game for you in JavaScript. And now it's time to talk about another very interesting game that is known called Tic Tac. Tic Tac Toe is world's favorite game. We have already played a lot in our childhood days, and it's still my favorite game. So I have decided to basically offer you this Tic Tac Toe game developed in JavaScript, HTML plus CSS, which can create something really very great effects for the end users. So let's go and start developing our next game that's called Tic Tac Toe. So in this Tic Tac Toe, I will start working with creating a folder called Tic Tac, and inside this I'm going to create a new file name called index.html. Now here onwards the same thing, I'll be creating this HTML tags, and now here onwards we want our some classes for headers and footer, but so we're going to create some div tag now. So in this div tag I'll be creating some of the tags in which the CSS class will be applied. So we're just gonna create a classes. We're gonna just use those classes, but we'll create it later on. So just go ahead and create those. So we are saying div. Okay. So now this point onwards, this is my first div tag. Inside this, I'll keep my h1 tag, and under this h1, I will be offering some of the headings which will be useful to contain some necessary information with regards to this game. So div, here we say h1, and inside this h1 we give the message called class equal to header, and here I'll give the name called is a Tic Tac Toe game. After this div class, here we will start working with our form tag. Within my form tag, I will start my div. After div tag, I will use label. So label for player 1, or else I can say player 1, and inside this let's give the name called player 1. Label is closed, and After this label, we'll start working with our input tag. Input. Now in this input, what are the details I need? First I need call type equal to text number 1. Second, placeholder equal to enter name. Next, name equal to player 1. Next we want ID equal to player 1, and then any class if I want to apply. Anyways, we're going to close this. This is my first text box, and same thing I would like to create for my another one. So the first div tag we have used, let me go and create another div tag. In this div tag, I'll use the same label, copy the same, paste it here, and this is for player 2. So we have this 2 players with me, and after this div tag, I'll offer the submit button now. Input ability to submit. Start game. Now the form tag is closed here. Div tag is also closed. So you want the div tag to be closed or before that, that's up to you now. So here we have a called div class, whichever we have taken. So if you want, you can basically put it later or before, whatever. So we have a basically form tag with us. So form tag is there. Later on you can just show some containers where the details will be visible to me. So here after the form tag, let me try to offer, but first check whether it is really working fine. So here we have this option called enter name after this tic tac toe. So here the details we have taken, input applicable text and input applicable text. Okay, so 2 values we are taking now, and accordingly we will go ahead now finally. After the form tag, we would like to start with working with the div tag again. Div, and inside this div, since I haven't created any CSS classes, so those we can use it little later on, but let's have this div, and inside this div I would like to use one more div tag. Okay, and here we want to use one more div tag. So inside this div we will be using one more div tag. So in this div we can just give the value called data id equal to 0, id equal to 0. It's just the value we're passing it. Div data id equal to 0. The div tag is getting closed. Fine. So that's how we want it now. So here the first div tag is closed. Like that we can create another data id. So 0, 1, 2, total number of 3 we want to create it. So I want to create 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So the way we have created here, for this div, let's go and create one more div tag. id equal to 1. Three options we have it now. Okay, like that I can keep on creating the others also. 2, 3, 4, 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total number of 5 we have created. One more I would like to create it now here for 6. There will be no difference because we haven't changed anything here. Okay, so the div tag is getting closed here. Okay, and that's it. and if you want to create some clear board or button, that you can basically offer it a little later on, but here we can use one more div, and here we say div class equal to relative, and within this div tag I can use any image tag if I want, so I just leave it as it is. And after this I can create one more div tag, and inside this another div, okay, and under this I'm going to create a button. Okay, and in this button we'll be having some value. Okay, we can give the value name called replay. This button is created, and now we can create a clear board span, and here is a clear board. That's it. Okay, so here is just a small game I want to develop it. Better. Now there's no user interface has been used, so this user interface will be using it later on by offering them a pure look and feel, so that it gives me more better look when your application will start. But most importantly, I need to start working with the JavaScript part where the logic will get calculated here. Okay, so we want to start with the JavaScript, so let's get included the JavaScript in my code. So here I can say here a script tag, a script equal to, now the file I haven't created, so let it be as it is. That's it. So this is my script tag, and let me try to include my style sheet also. So I just say link rel equals style sheet, and give the name called app.css, though I haven't created, but I'm giving it. Okay, that's it. So we have taken this HTML into our consideration. Now we'll be creating this CSS as well as the JavaScript to make this example complete. Well, we are ready with our HTML. Now it's time to basically go back and spend time on our JavaScript. So we're going to create a new file now with the name called app.js, and inside this we will start writing the logic with our main application. Okay, now the first thing is how we're going to start now. Yeah, so first thing what we need to do is we need to attach window dot add event listener, and when the window will load, some logic should happen. So I'm saying load. Second is the name of the function. So the name of the function perhaps does not exist, but I can give the name called app, which I'm going to create it shortly. Now here, first of all, let me try to create a game board. I'm saying let game board equal to, now let me have some of the values, because it is 8-digit, so we just make it like that, and one more for making it 9. Okay, so that's how we're going to create it now. Okay, now this is all empty right now. After that, we're going to create let turn, just a new variable, equal to 0. What this is, it keep tracking if X or 0 player its turn. like which player turns it to be, so just it is trying to mention it. Now I'm saying let winner equal to false. Okay, now let's go and create the player. So create player. How do you go to create a player? We say const player equal to what we're gonna pass, name, okay, equal to. Now inside this we can say name equal to name. Next we say return name. That's it. Okay, after that I'm defining let player x equal to player with the empty value, and again player y equal to player as an empty value. Now let's try to initialize the app. Okay, initialize the app. Now inside this initialize the app, we're going to create a new function app, and inside this we're going to create a variable like by saying let input field equal to, first of all, document dot get element by id. Here we're going to take the class name of this particular text field, so we are saying input hyphen field, okay, dot focus. Okay, now after this we have to say const add players equal to, once again, document dot get element by id. We'll just give the name called player form. Okay, next we are saying add player, okay, dot add event listener. We want to attach the event, on which event, submit event, and what logic, add players. Okay, after that, once the players are added, we are saying let replay button equal to, once again, document dot get element by id, or rather I would say document dot query selector. Document dot query selector replay hyphen btn. Okay, to just the name, we are basically taking that, and here we say replay button dot add event listener, which event I want to say click. Okay, that is the first event. Second, reset board, that we are basically passing that. Okay, now this is the initial case which we have it. Now beyond that I will add, this is the players what we have added, and right now it slides to add the players. So this is how we have initialized. After that, let's add players. How to basically add the players? Here we have to just define the function add players. Okay, which will take event as a parameter and say event dot prevent default. This prevent default will try to prevent the default behavior which is submitting to be get avoided. And now here we say if this dot player 1. So we just define the property called player 1. If this dot player 1 dot what value, okay, is blank, okay, or this dot player 2, sorry, this dot player 2. Now I just want to find it out its value also. Value blank. Then what I should do? In this case I'm saying alert, you must enter a name for each field. The user has to add the values, and after that return. Okay, now the next thing is like we would like to select the players in this inside this by saying const player form container. Again, const player from container equal to document dot query selector, document dot query selector. Here we will just pass the value called enter hyphen players. Okay, now we say const board main equal to document dot once again query selector board underscore main. Okay, after that player form container dot class list dot class list dot add. Here we're giving the name called what? Hide container. Hide hyphen container. And after that, you just say board main dot class list dot remove hide hyphen container. Okay, so we've basically taken that, and after this what I will do, I'll just say player x dot name equal to this dot player 1 dot value. Okay, this for player x, copy this, player y 2, and after that that's it. So we have done it now. So we'll be calling other functions one by one, but that is the first thing which we have implemented. Well, so add player function is added right now, and after this add player we have to basically call one more, that is called, which returns the current player. So I'm saying return current player, and here what I will do is we'll just write function, and here we say current player, and in this current player what we will do is we will say return turn just variable, okay, percentile 2, we're just adding it with this 0. Okay, if it is, then x turn, I'm telling you, okay, or else so we are adding like the current player. Who says the current player right now? Well, after this adding the return current player, we're gonna add the other function that is known as called return the current player. Return current player is having this value, and after that we need to say resize the square in event browser is resized. Once again, if the browser is getting resized, automatically the square size of your Tic Tac Toe should also get increased. So we just say resize squares, and here we're gonna say this option equal window dot add event listener. Now we have a call option called resize here, and the second parameter what we are passing is called on resize. Okay, on resize. Now let's try to add it. After this, we are writing this function called function on resize. That is the function name for me, the one which we are passing into the second parameter. We are saying let all cells equal to document dot query selector all. In this we are passing board underscore cell. Okay, and then we are using another option called what? Let cell height equal to all cells with the position, okay, dot of set width, of set width. After that we are saying all cells dot for each. Here we are passing cell, and after that we are using cell dot style dot height equal to, now he'll be using this backtick and use this $sign and say cell height, and that too in a pixel. So this will be taking the dynamic values. Okay, that's it over. Now we have to just launch our build board. Now build board, build board. So how are we gonna build our board now? For this we are saying function build board, and inside this build board we will see this option called let reset container equal to document dot, once again query selector, and pass the value called dot reset. Okay, and after that we are saying reset container dot class list dot remove, and we are passing the value called reset hyphen hidden, this value. And after that we may call some other type of functions also. Okay, so for those functions I can say first will be called on resize, after that we are calling add cell click listener, but I do not have that function with me. So these functions we need to create it by our own. Okay, so we will just leave those for a time being. Let's go back and create another functions now. So we just want to write another event with cell click event for player to attempt to make move. So here we are trying to say cell click event for player to attempt to make move. Now this function we need to create it, so we just say function now we just say function and give the name of the function to make move now. Function make move. It takes event as a parameter, and here we are saying console.log and say turn. Now let's go back and try to check the another condition, that is called let current cell equal to %, because we have to read the value from there, and here we are saying what, event dot current target, event dot current target dot first element child, okay, dot dataset dot id. So we're reading these values. After that we use another variable called let cell to add token. Now here we are typing document dot query selector, and here in using backtick I'm using this value called data -id, okay, equal to, here we are using once again in a single quotes dollar current cell okay. So this value we are taking it like that. After that we are using this situation called if cell to add token dot inner HTML exclamatory mark blank. Once again, if cell to add token dot inner HTML equal to blank, then what next? So cell to add token dot inner HTML equal to blank, then what you should do, I'm saying console dot log and give the value the one which you want. Okay, so in this console.log, what value we can give it? Cell to add token, we have it. It is taking this value to the current cell dot inner HTML console.log, and inside my console.log we can say this cell is already taken. So values are already taken for this, and now we will be returning those values. After that we will be using else condition, and here we use once again if current player okay is X, then we'll be using this option called cell. See, we have this property option available called cell to add token. So we are saying cell to add token okay dot text content equal to current player okay, and we say game board, the one which you have created, pass in this game board this value called current cell, and in this current cell value will be equal to X okay. Else we can say cell to add token dot text content equal to current player okay, and say game board current cell equal to like this okay. So here we are adding the values like that. So it is closed. After that, we can just use the function name called isWinner to check whether the user is winner or not. So we are saying is winner. Okay, and after that we are saying turn plus plus. After that we are saying change. We do not have the function name called change board header names. Okay, so it's just like that we're giving it. So as usual, we can leave this function for a time being, and we'll call this little later on. So leave it as a for a time being. Okay, so your function is now ready. So the next thing what we need to check whether it is tie or not. Okay, so we are saying function check if tie. We're just checking the function whether this game is tie or not. So here we say if the condition is turn greater than 7, alert, game over. Okay, we can say game over, or else we can say a tie. Okay, well, after that we are saying winner. Function is winner. Now what we will check is we will check const winning sequences. Winning sequences, and here we are having this array and having the different conditions associated. We say 0, 1, 2, probability we are checking it, and then I just copy it. Well, we are saying 0, 1, 2, and here we are saying 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 0, 3, 6 again, 0, 3, 6, and once again 1, 4, 7, 4, 7, and next we have a call 2, 5, 8, 8, then we are checking the value called 0, 4, 8, 8, and one more last option we'll put is called 2, 4, 6. So these conditions we are adding it now. After this array we can say winning sequences dot for each, and give the name called winning combos. Winning combos, and inside this winning combos we are giving let cell1 equal to winning combos position 0, then let copy and paste 3 times, cell 2, cell 3, and here we get the value called what, 1, 2, 3 values we're giving it, and after that we are checking the condition. Let's say if, and here the conditions we are checking. What exactly that will be? For the game board we are saying game board cell 1, current player ampersand come down, game board cell 2. I just also copy this the same line and paste it multiple times. Now here we are checking the condition for cell 2 and cell 3, and cell 3, and after that we're starting the position. So after that we're starting the position call by calling this condition call const cells and then equal to document dot get element by document dot query selector all, and here let's select the position dot board underscore cell. Okay, then after that we will be using cells dot for each cell, and inside is what we are passing. We are saying let cell id equal to cell dot first element child. Okay, dot dataset dot id. So this is the value which we are basically adding it now, and we are using one more if condition. We are saying if cell id, now we're talking about call cell id triple equal to cell 1 or cell id cell 2 or cell id equal to cell 3. Okay, and in that case we can use cell dot class list dot add, give the name called board, just give the class name winner. So here we'll be giving the winner, and a part of that we can use the other conditions too. Okay, so here it is adding the value, and now let's say let current player equal to document dot get element by id. So you can basically define it. So current player you want, so we can use the current player or whichever conditions you want. So here we use what the cell winner. Now small change, rather than using current player we can use the current player text. The new variable we are creating it current player text document dot, rather than saying get element by id we can say query selector, and in this query selector we'll be giving the value by saying dot board player hyphen turn, the value which we're giving it here. In that query selector value whichever you given this, let me try to put it in a parenthesis like this. Okay, now here we just check if current player x, then what? Then in this case we can say current player, what is the value we are using, current player text dot inner html equal to, now we can define the value whichever you want to offer it. We just use a condition called div class equal to okay, so we are saying congratulations. Okay, and here we say congratulations along with dollar sign, and here we pass player by dot name and here the div tag is getting closed like this. Okay, so that's the message we are basically printing it, and after that we give this value and say this message called winner equal to true. And after that, if you want to apply remove that function we haven't written, we'll be talking about a little later on, and just say return true again. So your function is ready now, and later on we can just check the condition if winner, or we can say check if tie and return false. That's it. Now, in a continuation to this example, we're gonna develop another function which the name is called change board header names. So let's continue by defining the new function called function change board header names. So this change board header names will be the new function for us, and here we would like to check whether the user is winner or not. So here we say if not winner, then what? Then in that case we have to say let current player text equal to document dot query selector. In this we'll be getting the details like dot board, and here we're gonna give the name called player and hyphen turn. Player hyphen turn. Now later on, after this particular variable, we have to just check the condition by saying if current player equal to x, if the position is x, sorry, let me try to put it in a capital letter here, x, then we have to say current player dot inner HTML equal to, now here we have to just use the same option called backticks because I want to go multi-lines. That's the benefit of this backtick. And here we say in our inner HTML span class equal to name hyphen hyphen style, close this, and here we want to use the statement. Now this value we want to write it with name attribute, so it is getting closed, and here we are saying dollar with this player x dot name, and then close the span tag, and we say you are up like this, and after that we say div class equal to, which is going to create a class which later on we can apply the CSS style on the top of that, u hyphen r hyphen winner, and here we say closing the div tag. So the div tag is closed. That's it. And now after this line, what next we have this called else condition. Else. What else? Here we say current player text dot inner HTML equal to, after this we're gonna write the span class equal to, here we say name hyphen hyphen, same option we're gonna use it. So in this condition, so winner conditions, so let me try to copy the same rather than copying it again and again. I'll just copy the whole text. Span class equal to name hyphen hyphen style player. Rather than saying X, we have to use Y. You are up, you are winner. Okay, so here it's getting closed. Well, after this, what we have to do, create another function called reset board. Function reset board. Now in this function reset board, we just say console.log a small message resetting is added. Now afterwards we will be using the game board, and the same game board what we have used it earlier. I'll be using the same conditions. On the top, if you remember, that was the game board for me, so I'll be using the same game board. We copy this, with the same condition. Okay, game equal to this. After that line, we will say let cell to add token, equal to document dot query selector all. Here in this, I'll be using another class called letter. Now cell to add token, whichever we've used, dot for each square, and within this square we would like to use square dot text content equal to blank. After that, square dot parent element dot class list dot remove, and here we would like to say board, okay, underscore cell winner. So these classes we yet to create, because these CSS classes we are just using this, but we haven't created. We'll be using it little later on. So that was the point. Now after that, we are defining the turn value, turn equal to 0, because we are resetting it, and winner equal to false. After that, winner equal to false, we just define another variable called define let current player text equal to document dot query selector all. Document query selector all. So here we're going to use the name called board, define player hyphen turn, after that current player text dot inner HTML equal to, once again we have to use the condition for up and winner point. So let me try to copy this. Inner HTML equal to, okay, and in this we have to say player x dot name. Okay, just everything is same, no change at all. Okay, now here after that we're gonna write one more function called function add cell click listener. That means when I will be adding or clicking something to my cell, what kind of event I would like to listen. Here we are saying const cells equal to document dot query selector all. Let's check the condition board cell. And here once again we say cells dot for each dot for each, and here we say cell dot add event listener, which event I want to listen, click, and the second parameter will be handler. Once call make move. Okay, and this function which we have created called add self clicks listener, okay, this I'll be calling it here. Perfect. Later on, once it is done, let's try to add one more function called function remove cell click listener. Remove cell click listener. Now here we say let all cells equal to document dot query selector all. Let's pass board cell, and now we say all cells dot for each cell, and here we say cell dot remove event listener, which event click, and second parameter will be make. That's it. So friends, now here most of our JavaScript code is written now. So going forward we would like to use CSS, and finally we'll be applying everything into our HTML file. Well, after the JavaScript file is ready towards my application, now it's time to go and create our HTML file now. Sorry, the CSS. So inside my Tic Tac, I have got app.js and index.html ready. Now here I'm going to create another file here called app.css. See, you can basically put this app.css in any other folder like in static folder, but I have just kept it outside. Now from this point onwards, I would like to start with my basic functionalities. Okay, what those are? Let's start with the first feature called body. With my body, some basic settings I would like to do, like in background image, background color. So I just start with background color. Background color, I can just use it as a white. Okay, but I don't think so it's really needed it. So if you want, you can have it. Otherwise, leave this background color because it's by default going to be white only. And now, next would be called height. Height will be 800 pixels. Next, background position. Background position, I just say like center. Next, background repeat, in case if you do not want to repeat the image. Background repeat, and here I say no repeat. Next, background size. Here we are saying cover. Okay, so it resizes the background image to cover the entire container. Okay, so that's what the body part. Now the next thing is we have to select the rest of the CSS classes. So first select div dot relative. Inside this div dot relative is first say called position. Position we are saying absolute. Next is top. From the top I'm just making 760 pixels. Next right. Right we are just saying 120 pixels. Next, after this we are saying height container, height dot container, or sorry, height hyphen container. Here in height hyphen container we will display colon none. Well, after that we have to use the header point. Header. Inside this header we will say color will be by default white, but still we just say color and white. Next text line we just say center. Next margin will be 15 pixels. Next font family. I'm selecting called permanent marker. Permanent marker. Okay, next class we are talking about called interplayer. That's called dot inter hyphen players. Now in inter hyphen players we will say color. Will once again we can use any other color, but we can just use white or any color you want, or else you can just use hash. Okay, margin we are giving it's called 0. Auto width we are looking forward for 80%. Next text align, center, position, relative. Now next we are going forward for input field. In this input field we just say border 2 pixels, solid and black. Next outline none. I do not want any outline to be there. Next padding, I can take 4 pixels, 8 pixels, 4 pixels, 8 pixels. Now margin we are saying 0, 10 pixels. Okay, and finally 4 pixels. After this margin we say font size 18 pixels. Okay, so that is your input field. Next we are talking about something called input field focus. Input hyphen field, okay, colon focus. Now here border 2 pixel, solid red, or any other color which you want to use it. Next, how you want your submit button to be. So I'm saying dot submit hyphen btn, border 2 pixels, solid and black, padding 8 pixels and again 8 pixels, font size 18 pixels. Now width 250 pixels, followed by border radius 5 pixels. Next, your margin from top, let's take 10 pixels. After that, background color, let's take white only. Okay, so this is the property. Now going forward, you can associate with your submit button active and submit button focus. So we are saying dot submit hyphen btn colon active, and two options we are taking, followed by condition outline none, next border we're talking about called 2 pixels, solid, and the color red. Okay, so that's the one. And after that we'd like to use hover dot submit hyphen button colon hover. What you want? Change the background color to what? White. You can use white smoke. Well, here we like to use dot board. Here we'd like to use player hyphen. So these are the classes we were using in our JavaScript, we remember. And here we say color we are using once again white, or you can use this white smoke, whichever you want. So well, later on text align, center, margin 10 pixels, 0 and 10 pixels, height 54 pixels. Okay, so these are the properties initially we have taken. Okay, so after this turn, let's go and start another classes here. I'm saying dot name hyphen style, and here we are saying color red, and then font size 22 pixels. Well, now coming back to the another properties, now we're talking about the next important called border container, called board container. Dot board container. Here we define width, which is 40 pixels we are taking, or sorry, 40% we can rather take. After that, background color, that we can say quadrant blue. Okay, next margin we're taking is a 0 and auto. After that, font size we are taking 0. Next, border we are taking 2 pixels, then solid, and then black, followed by box shadow. We remember this box shadow is one of the very CSS3 popular property. Here we are defining 3 pixels, 3 pixels, 3 pixels, 0 pixels, and RGB we can talk about called black. Okay, so my border color will be, shading color will be black. After that, we're offering this board cell dot now in this board cell we are defining width, Now in this width we are using calculation, CALC, and in this calculation we are defining 100%, okay, divided by 3. This calculation. After this, the next property will be display. Display will be inline block. Next, font size, we are taking 40 pixels. Well, text align, center, border, we are taking 2 pixels, solid and black. Padding 20 pixels. Vertical align, top. Next, font family. This family I can use permanent marker. Okay. Now, next option, a part of this, we have a call, your board cell will, board cell hyphen winner, I would say rather hyphen winner. Now, spelling wrong, this has to be D. Yeah, board cell winner. Let's make background color red. Okay, and later on just use letter. Now in this letter we just give the color combination, so color will be white. Next, position, relative, top 50%. Next, transform, translate y to minus 50%. After that, font family, we are making it once again permanent marker. Let me copy. Okay, now here next option will be called winner container. Here we're giving winner with dot winner hyphen container. Okay, so for this winner container, what are the values we want to use it? That's you want to basically do it. So if for this winner container, what I would rather suggest is you can use dot reset, text align, center, margin 20 pixels up. That is for reset. And now reset hidden. Inside this reset hidden, we will set display none. Display none. Okay. After this, the replay button. Now we will talk about replay button. Dot replay hyphen BTA, and here width we make it to 25%. Okay, and followed by padding 10 pixels. We take it from here and 20 pixels. Border This border we are taking is called 2 pixels, followed by solid, okay, and black color. Now later on, border radius we are taking 5 pixels. Later on, outline, I'm saying none. After this outline, we say letter spacing. Now this letter spacing would be again 0. After that, text transform. This text transform value we are talking about called uppercase. Next, font size. Font size, we are taking 16 pixels. Then margin top. Margin top would be 12 pixels. Then word spacing, that you are taking 3 pixels, followed by background color. This you are taking white as usual. So this is for your replay button. Okay. Now in a similar line, we can also have call dot replay hyphen btn colon hover followed by dot replay hyphen active. Now apply the common style outline. We are making it none. Then color, we are making it is called white. Then background color will be black. Okay, and when it comes to the congratulations, so we'll be using this dot okay. So this congratulations class will be using font size to what, 24 pixels, and after this we are using this call winner dot u hyphen r dot winner. In this winner we will be taking font size, okay, that's 18 pixels. After that, height, we are taking 18 pixels again. Then line height. Line height, we are taking 18 pixels. And then margin, 2 pixels. And then 0. Okay, that's it. So last but not least, we would like to use this dot replay hyphen btn. This I'm saying width 50%. 50%. So this is what my CSS file is all set. I know it was pretty lengthy, but it is required for this particular application. Okay everyone, so we are all ready with our CSS also. Now it's time to go back to our index.html file and take care about the final finishing touch. So we have this index.html file with us, and now the CSS class which we were using it in our application, that is known as called this permanent marker, this class is not by default available, so we have to include this using this external API. So here where we have a call CSS with us, before that we want link so within this link we want a one variable name called href equal to, now we have to give the proper location by saying https://fonts dot google apis okay, .com/css family equal to permanent plus marker. Okay, so if you just copy this into your browser, you will get to know where exactly it is using. Okay, if I just copy and paste it, so I just need to say HTTPS before. Yeah, HTTPS fonts dot googleapis.com slash spelling wrong css family equal to permanent marker. That is the main URL from where I can take this kind of font. So here CSS, so that's what I was cross verifying it. Well, it's there, we have included our CSS also, but in which class we need to use, that is an important now. JS, I also want to include it. So here in my head tag only, I would like to include script src equal to app.js. So here my script is actually loaded now. After that, if I just go back and check the final outcome of my code, which is index.html file, well, it pretty much look like in basic. Nothing else has started when we talk about called start game. Okay, so it needs to start because there is no CSS class are attached. So I need to attach those classes within my code. So here onwards, we have to start with offering those CSS classes so that at least I can apply those common behaviors to my application. Okay, like here we have a call div. We haven't attached any class to this. After this body, we have a call div h1 class equal to header tic tac toe. Then we have a call div. We have a call body. Under this, we have a call another div tag. So just imagine how many type of classes are available. One, we have a call div class equal to header. Div class is closed. Again, we have a call one more div tag. So like that, multiple CSS files are there where we have to apply the new CSS class to make it happen. So now we have to just go back and change our HTML and to apply our main class. So this is what my final HTML, which looks like the same. You can see we have added all those type of CSS classes which we had, that is called enter player, player form, player container, label, placeholder, and player container. And if you see all different type of classes, we have attached this to. Okay, because here only my CSS class will get applied and the JavaScript will apply those kind of dynamic CSS based on certain conditions. So these CSS classes are already there added inside your HTML page. Our app CSS is ready, app.js is also ready. Now let's go back and try to reveal how it looks like. Awesome, so it looks like pretty nice. Tic Tac Toe is a game, it is expecting. When I say start game, it says you must enter a name for each field. Validation is working. Let me try to add 2 names and say start game. Awesome, so now you can see it is saying hey, you are up. Now let me try to give the values. Awesome, now you can see it's saying like hey, you are a winner. Great. So guys, congratulations on this, the first example of how the Tic Tac Toe game is used. So it is a classical example of CSS, JavaScript and HTML together. So this time we're going to talk about our next very interesting feature that is known as called dealing with another example that is called snake game. So snake game is one of the very powerful example which I'm going to share with you, which will help you to understand like how we offer a very simplest way of developing a mini project. Okay, that is something which is a snake game. Let's see how the snake game is important and how we're going to deal with this. These are our previous examples which we have seen, which I will call a project which we have created, that is called quiz application. And now we're going to start working with our new project. Now here, first of all, I'm going to create a new folder that is called snake game. And inside this snake game, we need some new folders. First folder I'm going to create it inside this, that is called images. And within this snake games, I'm going to create few new files that is called index.html. And here I'm going to create a new file name called app.js. At the same time, I'll be having some of the CSS files if I need, so I can say app.css. So total number of 3 files I have it now. Let me close down all the files whichever I have opened it earlier. So now that looks cleaner approach. So this is a snake game for us from where we need to start, and we have a index.html file, and here I will as usual create our basic HTML syntax, and here I would like to include our script tag, script src equal to app.js. That's it. And now going forward, we will start developing our next implementation of snake game. Now inside my body tag, I would like to have some basic property called speed. Okay, and later on I'll be taking the input from the client, so we are saying input type equal to. So here we can justify the speed, and we can give id equal to game speed, and followed by value equal to, we can give the value called 5 initial value, and min equal to 1, that is the minimum value, and max equal to 9. That is the maximum and minimum value we can offer. Beyond that, I won't allow the users to go. And step, that means the increment value, that is 1. Well, that is the input type. And now another input, we are taking input type equal to button, and value equal to start, and then id equal to game start. Okay, so we're giving these values. After that, I can give some breaks. So 2 breaks we're giving it, and start working with the div tag now. And in this div tag, I'll be using the canvas. It is a HTML5 feature. We use canvas, and I just give id equal to game area. That is a canvas, and after this canvas, we will, the div tag is closed here. After the div tag, I can use another div tag, div. Here I can say class equal to, I may not have any class written, but I can say class equal to relative. So later on, if I want to apply any CSS style, I can certainly apply. And after that, I can offer the images. Okay, so I may not have any images right now, so I just leave this image blank right now. Okay, and this script src, I'll load it only before my body tag get closed. It is always a good practice to keeping this script tag on the bottom of the body tag, always designed for good practice. Now this is almost ready for me. Let me check. Okay, so I can see values. Now it will go maximum 9, that is how we have given, and minimum is 1. Start is the button which is not doing anything, but later on we can allow some logic inside this. Now we have to start working with our main JavaScript tag. This is my app.js, and here onwards we will use some of the properties, okay, which I want to initialize it. So we are saying var game start equal to null. Initialized. Second, game speed equal to null. Next, game area equal to null. Game area context equal to null. Then game area width equal to 0, that is integer value. Game area height equal to 0 again. Then cell width equal to 0. Play score equal to 0 again. Next, snake equal to null. Next, snake food equal to null. Next, snake direction equal to null. Snake speed, or else I can say speed size equal to 0. Next, we have a timer equal to null. So these number of properties we have initialized. Okay. Now after that we will be writing a function by saying function name is called initialize. Okay. And here in initialized we would like to use some of the properties. First we are saying game start equal to document dot get element by id. Here I can give the value called hash game start. Let me put it in double quotes. Game start. Now game speed. Now these all basically the values are there. Game start, game speed, these all values we have to take it. Okay, so we will be seeing these values one by one. So let me say the another one, that is called game speed. Game speed equal to again document dot get element by id. Now we are passing the game speed. Game speed. Now here once again I take another point, game area. I say game area. Here you have to give the value called game area. Okay, so these values we have taken. Now we'll be talking about called game area context. Game area context equal to game area dot get context. Get, and in this game context we will be using what type of context? We are saying 2D. Okay, because I want to have the kind of 2D. So this is how the kind of environment we want to set. Next we talk about game area width equal to, just initialize to 400. Next game area height equal to 600. Now cell width we are initializing with 20. Next game area dot width. Okay, so game area dot width equal to game area width, and then we define game area dot height dot equal to game area height. So these are the values we are initializing this. Okay, now after that we have to start writing the logic. Here I'm saying game start dot. Now we have to line which event you would like to take. So I will say on click. So when I basically click, what should happen? So on click equal to function. So what you want to write it here? I'm saying this dot disabled equal to true. So I want to disable these values, and after that we want to call another function inside this. But which function? Let's do that. So here we are saying function start game, and here in start game we want to define the initial score. See, the initial score for the player will be certainly 0. So we say player score equal to 0. After that, direction. In which direction you want the snake to move? So we are saying snake direction equal to right, in the right direction. Then speed size, the variable which we have defined, so speed size equal to, because it will be accepting the value from the text boxes or from the drop down, so it certainly will be string type, so we have to use %. So we are using this option called %, and here we are using game speed dot value. Okay, so we are using this value game speed dot value. Now here we would like to calculate certain things. What those are? First we are saying if, okay, what if condition. See, this function we are writing called start game, because there are certain things which you need to make it. So like that we have to define it. So function initialize, we have started, okay, and then after that we have written on click within this. So this is what the on click we had, and there onwards we have to finish this point. And after that we've started start game, and now we'll be writing the logic for this. So here we are saying if we're saying speed size, we're saying equal to 9. We basically initialize to what? 9. Here we say else if speed size is 0. We say speed size, speed size equal to 1. That means if it is less than 0, I will be making it minimum to 1. If it is greater than 9, I will be making it to 9 maximum. And that's it. Okay, so after this else if condition is getting closed, we are saying speed size equal to 1. So here we just say snake equal to array. So that is my array for me. And after that we are saying snake dot push, because it needs to move ahead, and here we'll be pushing it towards by saying x position 0, and then the y, and here the y value will be what? Cell width. That means how far it can go. So it will go within the width of this application. Okay, so that's how exactly we would like to make it. Okay, so here we have a call cell width which we have given here. After that, what we have to do is we have to define our own function called clear interval, and this clear interval perform any logic whichever I would like to make it. Okay, so here after that snake.push value has been given. Here I will be creating one more function here that's known as called create food. Okay, so here we're saying create food. So create food will be the function for me. Now you might be thinking where this function is, but this function will be declared soon within your application. But here first we are saying the function called clear interval with a timer. Okay, whatever the timer will be passing it, and after that this clear interval will be saying timer equal to set interval. With this we are saying create game area, create. Now here in our application, whatever the value we are giving it, that we need to basically implement. We are giving this called create food is a function we are calling. After that we are calling this clear interval. Clear interval will be just like in a typical function which is there, using this option called create game area. So this will be available to me on which the value will be taken that. Okay, and then we will be telling you how you can call this function create food and how to create it first. Well, so we are talking about a functionality called create game interval. So this create game timer is the one which we have to create it by our own. So this function which we are passing it after the saying set interval, this function is not yet there, so we have to basically go back and create this function within my application. Fine. So what we will do is just particular one we will try to comment it for a time being. Okay, so here we have a call what create interval. In this create interval we'll be passing any parameters which we are passed as a timer here, and here we are calling this called create food. So here after that we'll be calling this function called create food. So let's go and say function create food, and this function create food, let's go and write a logic here. And what logic we want to write it in a create food? We say snake food equal to, and here in our curly braces we use two direction x and y. We say in x we say math dot round, and inside this we say math dot random. After this math dot random function, we have to just take this calculation and check the another parameter called game area width, minus cell width, the one which you are passing it. And here after that we'll be performing the calculation by saying cell width. Okay, so this is for our x coordinate. Similar way we would like to use for my y coordinate also. Now math dot round dot number, game area height, but here rather than using width we'll be using height, minus cell width, let me give some space, divided by cell width. Okay, so that's where exactly it's got closed. Okay, now here our application is now ready by calling the function called create food. Like that we'll be going to create another function called create game area. Let me go and create all the functions first. So we are saying function create game area, create game area. There's another function for me. After this create game area there will be another function I'm going to create it, that is called control, function control. Okay, after that we're going to write one more function called function write score. There's another function available for us, control, we have a called write score. There's another function which you're going to write it down here, that is called function write score is done. Now we say create square, create square. There's another function, and finally we'll have a call change direction, function change direction. So that's it. So these many functions we wanted to create it here in our system. Well, we know it very well that we have taken this called create food. Create food function is already ready now. Now we're going to talk about our next function called create game area. And in this create game area, we are defining two locations, var x direction and y direction. So we say snake x equal to snake. The position we are taking is called 0, and we are saying dot x. For the x direction, we are saying var snake y equal to snake, position we are taking once again 0, and dot y. So two directions we have taken, x direction and y direction. Now here we are starting game area context dot fill style, that you know it very well, it is a property. Fill style equal to which color you want to fill this up. So I'm saying hash white color. Okay, and then we are using this game area context again dot fill react now give the position values. I'm saying 0, 0, game area width, game area height. So we are basically filling the values. With color we want to use it called stroke style. Let me take this game area context again dot stroke style equal to, now we give the another color here by saying hash. Okay, and then the next option called same game area context dot stroke react, and here we pass the values again 0, 0, game area width, game area height. So we're passing those values like that. And now after this we have to write a logic of the directions. Now see, when you talk about snake game, it moves left, right and center, up and down. So now in this case we have to increment the situations accordingly. So we say if the snake direction equal to right, then we say snake x plus plus. Now else if same, let's copy this, snake direction left, then what should happen? Here we say snake x minus. Okay, so we're taking like that. Let me copy this again. Now here we're taking about left, right, we say down. So in this case we say snake y plus plus, and in this case if it is up, then we say snake y minus. So these conditions we are taking it now. Now here after this else if condition, we would like to take another if condition. Now here in my if condition we are using some more lengthy statements. What's that? We say if snake x minus 1 or snake x double equal to game area width, which we have taken, divided by cell width Okay, or we are taking this condition called snake y double equal to -1. Okay, so we're giving this call -1, or snake y equal to gain area height to serve it, or here we will take the another condition here. Yeah, we will take the another condition here called, we will have another function called control, which we have created it some time back, and inside this control it will take some parameters. So what those parameters we can pass? Here we can say snake x comma snake y comma third parameter will be snake. So this would be my another function. Okay, so here we are passing the conditions just like that. Okay, now here this is available to me as a parenthesis, and here we are writing the situation for right score, which is so far the function is only created, not described more. So we are writing the right score. The score will be written here, and here we are saying clear interval because the timer will be stopped. Okay, and we are saying game start dot disabled equal to false, and after that return. That's it. So this is the logic for we have written to this particular example. Now we can use another if more conditions here just to check the behavior of my code.
If getting your learning started is half the battle, what if you could do that for free? Visit SkillUp by Simplilearn. Click on the link in the description to know more.
Well, here we have finished till this game start dot disabled equal to false, and we returned. Now, going forward after this return, we would like to have another condition for the snake x. So we say if snake x double equal to snake food dot x. Okay, snake food dot x ampersand snake y double equal to snake food dot y. Then in this case I will say var new head var new head equal to here x colon snake x y colon snake y. Snake x and y colon snake y. These options we are taking it. Now after that we are using this option called player score plus equal to speed size, and then we are calling create food method again, and here after that we're using the else condition, and in this else condition we are saying var new head equal to snake dot pop. Okay, and we are saying new head dot x equal to snake x, and new head dot y equal to snake y. So these values are basically associating with your heads, and after that we are saying snake dot unshift snake dot unshift, and here we are passing this option called new head. That's it. And after that we'll be starting with our for loop by saying for var equal to var I equal to 0, then I is less than snake dot length and snake dot length, and once I plus plus. Okay, later on we just use the option called create square, and in this create square we are passing snake position I dot x comma same snake dot y. That's it. So it's getting closed here, and after that we are calling the same option with this snake foot. Let me copy this again, and here rather than using this we can say snake foot dot x and snake foot dot y. Okay, so now this values has been added into my code. Now we start working with your control. Control needs to take 3 parameters, x, y and the array. So we are passing this option called control, and in this control we are taking x comma y comma array. 3 parameters we are taking it. Later on we are using this option called for var I equal to 0, I is less than array dot length and I plus plus, and after that we'll be using this option called if condition, and here we say array I, which value we're passing, dot x double equal to x ampersand. Here we say array with a position called I, and in this we are saying dot y, and this position we are checking for the y condition. So it returns what? True. Return true. The condition. Okay, that is for if condition. Else return what? False. Now that's it. Now we are talking about this option name called write score. This write score we have to use the game area context dot font equal to, here we'll be passing the situation. We are saying 50 pixels and then sans hyphen serif. After that we are using call game area context again. Let me copy this, take it again, call game area context dot fill style equal to, here I'll be using the another color now. So we say hash okay. Now after that we are saying once again the game area context dot fill text. Here we are saying score colon, and here we say plus player score whatever it is with game area width /2 minus 100, and then again game area width /2. So this is where exactly the right score where the data will be actually written. Okay, next we'll be having this option called create square, and this create square, it takes two parameters. One we're talking about called x, second is taking y, and now here we're using this game area context, same dot fill style equal to, let me give the color. After this we're using call same area and text, game area text dot fill react. Here we are saying x multiply by cell width comma y multiply by cell width comma cell width comma cell width. This is what my create square is. Now we are left with only one option, that is known as called change direction. It's time to figure out this last function called change direction, which takes one parameter called e. Typically we talk about for parameters. Now here we are passing this option called var keys equal to e dot, and later on we want to say if keys equal to 40, okay, ampersand is snake direction equal to up. Okay, so here we say snake direction equal to down. So we are changing the directions here. Okay, now let me try to copy this, and here we use else if four times. Okay, so here we talk this 30, 40, and here we say 39, and followed by 38, followed by 37, 39, 38, 37, and here we say up. Let's change to what? Left, down, right. Here we say right, up, left. So three options we have changed, and last but not least here I will just use window dot on key down equal to change directions, and window dot on load, okay, equal to initialize. That's how exactly we want to use now. And this function what we have defined in initialize. Okay, so in this initialize we are having this game start dot on click and all, so we have a call start game now. So this start game will be calling it here. Okay, so in start we have a call snake, we have a call snake dot push, and after that we are calling this function called what? Create food, clear interval, and here we say timer equal to, here set clear interval, and here change game area slash speed size. That's how you want to use it. Okay everyone, so our code is almost ready. So we have this complete JavaScript code ready with me. Now it's time to basically use within my HTML just to check how it may behave. So in my HTML page I have written this normal speed, number, game speed, value button start, we have a call game start. After that we have a call canvas where we return id equal to call game area, dev class equal to relative, and that's it. And here we have a call script src equal to app.js. So that's it what we have written now. Finally, we would like to see how it may look if I try to use in my browser. Let me try to refresh. Okay, I really do not see any changes in my code. Okay, despite I'm having this, because the CSS content is actually missing. Okay, because then only my code will really look better. Because if there is no CSS, it won't really make good towards my application. Okay, and I also want to have certain images, but those images we will take it a little later on. Let me go back and try to bring CSS into this picture now. So first of all, have this index.html file with me, and here I want to use CSS. So inside my head tag, we want to use link rel equal to style sheet. Okay, href equal to app.css. Okay, now here in my CSS we want to offer certain details. What those details I want to start working with? I will start with my body part. Body. So we want to offer the font family. So font family, maybe a little bit later on I can use it. First I want to use margin. Margin 20 pixels. Auto. Later text align center. Next font size 150 pixels, also 150%, and here we want to say background image. Since I do not have any image, so I will just leave it as a blank. Okay, so just otherwise I have to say URL, and inside this URL give some values, but I leave it as a blank because I do not have any image. I will say background color. In this background color I can just use white. After that height I can just say 800 pixels. After that background position I want to use center. Then background repeat I want no repeat. Then background size cover. Okay, let's see if there's an effect in my. Okay, I see it's now in the middle. Better. Now inputs canvas, we have to basically take that. Here we talk about called input. Okay, in this input I say font size may be optional, I can make it, but let me say font size 100%. Then text align center. Then padding I want to say 5 pixels and 7 pixels. Okay, looks better now. Well, here after that I can use canvas. In this canvas I want to say the background color. I just say white. After that border radius I can say 20 pixels. Then shadow if I want to use it, so I just say box shadow. box shadow, I can say 3 pixels, 5 pixels and 6 pixels, and the color is black. Let's check. Awesome. So I can see here the logic is there. So shadow, you can easily see how it has been using, and that's it. And this div, I can say div dot relative position absolute top. Here I'm saying using 760 pixels, left 120 pixels. That's it. So this is where exactly I program. Now when I say start, okay, so there may be some error here. They say cannot set a property of call on click null. So this we can just check this into this game start dot on click. Let's check. Anyways, we just try to fix that issue in while. But anyways, we have our created CSS, and now going forward we'll be implementing rest of the logic within my code. Okay everyone, so we have changed some names here because there was some value was mismatched, so we have basically changed those values with your properties. And now when I try to relaunch my application by this index.html file, so now in my index.html file when I try to add, so it's just as usual, same. Let me say start, and here you can see game start. When I go up, you see like it's starting right now. Okay, isn't this an amazing game right now, friends? Okay, that is the same game what you used to play it earlier. Okay, but you can just change the direction, go up, and you can see the score 10 has been placed here. That's it. So this is where exactly the look and feel of your game has been taken. And you can just increase the speed. Suppose if you just put a value called what 0, it by default set whatever value you want to take it with the start. Now you can see based on that the speed can be justified and the example can be developed. Okay, you can see the start button is disabled because right now the user is still going on. Unless the user game is finished, this one is not going to work. Fine. So like that you can see, and automatically this will be positioned. There is an also called food. That is how we have used it in my example now called app.js. You can see we are using this example name called food, create food. So in create food of the specific interval time, this will be automatically created and the snake will eat and increase the size of the code. Okay, that's it. And now the CSS has been given. If you want to add certain image, certainly you can add it. Otherwise, this is the first game which we can see how it is running and giving you the better example.
And with that, we've come to the end of this video. I hope you had fun building these applications. If you have any doubts or queries, let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, keep learning and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.